Let's welcome Alex Barbag!
What up? You guys are looking good. This is my best outfit. This is my best sweater. Nice sweater. Don't know if it looks good. I think it looks good other than if I put the hood up. I feel like I look like sperm now. I think I'll put it down so I can show you my stylish haircut I got. It's called a two-fade. I'm actually coining that term, two-fade, because I got one fade on the side and then one fade on the top. Top one was free. Oh man, I used to have this nice Jew fro. You guys know I used to have hair, right? I don't have to convince you. You understand that. I have a 4-year-old nephew who doesn't get it. And I'm arguing with him. He's like, you've always looked like that. You've always been old looking. And I'm like, shut the fuck up, you. It's gonna be you in 30 years. Fucking asshole. I have three nephews. Love them, 4, 6, and 8. Although I'm a little not sold on the 4-year-old. He's kind of a dick. It's interesting to see my brother as a parent, because he's been my brother my whole life, and all of a sudden he's a father, and he parents the same way our parents parented on us. He's basically stealing. It seems like he's cheating, like he's plagiarizing. Right? He punishes the same way. The 6-year-old, he was acting a little naughty or rowdy, if you don't want to sound creepy. He's acting rowdy, and my brother didn't like it. And he was like, hey, quit it, or I'm going to put you in a room and you're going to think about what you've done. And that is the stupidest punishment. No kid goes to the room and thinks about what they've done. Right? Could you imagine a kid who goes to the room and actually thinks about what he's done? He'd be like, what am I doing? Oh my God, what am I doing out there? I hit my brother? Oh, what does violence solve? Oh my God, my parents are geniuses for putting me in here. I don't belong out there. When am I going to start acting my age? I'm 6! I'm 6 years old, I'm acting like I'm 5.5. No one does that. Maybe, I don't know, actually maybe Mike Pence. Weirdo. Parents should know when kids go to the room, they're not thinking about what they've done. When they're in the room, they're thinking about getting revenge. They're like, I was unjustly incarcerated without due process! I wanted revenge real bad, but I was like, alright, I'm 6, what am I gonna do? I can't get good revenge when I'm 6. I'll wait till I turn 18, when I can put my parents into a retirement home. Anyone else? I'm from South Florida, there's so many retirement homes. It was easy to hate my parents because they would come after I served my time and they would open the door, they'd be like, so Alex, have you thought about what you've done? And I'd be like, no, I've thought about what you've done. You just sealed your fate, Mom and Dad. You'll be in a retirement home in your 40s. Unfortunately or sadly, my parents are still on the loose. I don't know if you guys know anything about retirement homes, the retirement home industry, but it is very expensive, and I'm not going to waste my inheritance money on revenge. It's good money. They're Jews. It's good money, you know. Okay. I can say it. I'm Jewish. I'm not anti-Semitic. A lot of anti-Semites, though. There was the guy on the council, the DC council. You guys remember this guy? 2 years ago, he filmed himself saying some anti-Semitic remarks, which, you remember that? Yeah, that was it was a good time. He was talking about how the Jews control the weather. Well, I mean, that's what he was saying. That. I'll give you a background on why he said it. He was in DC, and it was March, and it was snowing. And he's like, well, that's a pretty suspicious Jewy thing. Snowing in winter? What? The Jews again? He got in trouble. They called him an anti-Semite, which makes sense, I think, justifiably so. They made him go to the Holocaust Museum, which is not a good place to stand anti-Semites. So walking around, they're like, oh, I'm getting an idea. I think all they did was call him an anti-Semite. They focused on that too much. I think they were totally distracted. by that. Like, they totally gave him a pass on the fact that he also believes in weather machines. That's bad too. Anti-Semitic, sure, but also don't get distracted by this guy's on the DC Council making laws, right? And he's in the back of his head. He's like, I gotta remember the weather machines, right? They're probably discussing like, oh, we need to build an outdoor stadium, for the new XFL or whatever. And he's like, an outdoor stadium? You gotta remember the Jews are gonna make it rain on us. Or like they're discussing global warming, and they're like, what are we going to do to like combat global warming? What can we do locally? And people are like, let's put more money into public transportation. And then he's like, I have an idea. Why don't we just ask the Jews to turn it down? I'll do it. I know where they are. The Holocaust Museum. People voted him in after that, by the way. After this whole scandal, he was still voted in. You guys, I don't know if you guys are looking forward to election season. I'm not, because people get so pushy about voting. They're like, you gotta vote, right? They're so pushy on social media. There's a phrase, vote or die. Jesus Christ, that's intense. You don't even know who I'm voting for. You just want me to vote. On my Facebook, I kept seeing girls post, I won't sleep with anyone who doesn't vote. I ended up voting, which was bullshit, because it turns out that's not the only criteria. I should not have voted either. I should not have voted. I got in that voting booth, and I was like, who the fuck are these people? I only recognized one name on the ballot, and that was Bowser. And that's from Mario. I was like, are they taking this shit less serious than me? Crazy. There's also like a lot of ballot measures too, with like paragraphs of stuff you could have read before you voted. Did anyone vote on that shit? Did you read it? I didn't read it. I was like, nah. I'm gonna get sex either way, But no, it didn't. You still can't be creepy, apparently. I did my civic duty of voting. So I feel good about it. I've also done other civic duties. That's not the only thing I've ever done. I also I served on jury duty, which I know is like not impressive because you have to do it, right? It's illegal if you don't show up. But I did my best to get picked, and that's not part of your duty. I wanted jury duty, and no one else there did, which was actually made it really convenient for me because like I didn't have to compete with anyone. And I've wanted jury duty ever since. Sorry, I got a little emotional when I talk about this. I've wanted jury duty ever since my first day of work, when they told me I got off of work for jury duty. I was like, God bless America. Why am I the only one who wants jury duty? Am I the only one who doesn't like his job? Everyone's like, oh, jury duty, you can't go to work now. Oh, no. I'm not fulfilled by my work, It was also, we were told that this trial was going to be from Monday to Monday by the judge. It was like a week and a day. And except for Friday, in DC, they don't have court on Fridays. I don't know why, but they don't. And I asked the other jurors when we were in like the jurors box, I was like, hey, what are you guys going to do about Friday? Are you going to tell your work? Or are you going to pretend like you're at jury duty? And they were like, we're going into work. We're getting behind on our work. I was like, you guys would not be a jury of my peers. What is going on? My God, it's crazy. That was the best part about jury duty. You also learn stuff. It's pretty cool to be in a court. I learned a lot of stuff about law, about myself. I learned that I'm against the death penalty. I'm strictly against the death penalty. Except in the one case where I'm the one giving it out. It's a lot of fun. Death penalty! Death penalty! Death penalty! Sorry. You guys were there. You guys know that. It's quite a rush. It feels real good to give out the death penalty. Except I had a stupid civil case. There's no death penalty in a civil case. And I didn't know until the end of the trial. I paid attention for a whole week, and then at the end they're like, yeah, you can't do that. That sucked. The case was, the trial was this woman, Carla Brown. She took a megabus from DC to Pittsburgh, and on the way, her seat tipped. And don't worry, I'm like allowed to talk about it. The trial's over. The judge during the trial told us not to talk about it. But was anyone awaiting the verdict of Brown versus Megabus? I know, I was like, this judge is adorable. Anyway, so her seat fell. She fell. She got a concussion allegedly. That's what they say. So that was the trial. Kind of boring. And it was hard to be unbiased because in the real world, Megabus is like a normal sounding name, right? It's a good, catchy marketing name. But in a court of law, Megabus is a silly, silly name. It's very silly. Because the case was Carla Brown versus Megabus. It's actually Megabus Northeast. We're supposed to be unbiased. And I was like, I don't think so. Megabus is their entire platform was their case was that Carla Brown was a crazy bitch. That was what they hired one witness, it was a psychiatrist who interviewed her, and he was at the trial. Was like, yeah, she has a weird diet. She eats lots of beans and she intermittently fasts. And I was like, that sounds like a nutritionist. At the end of the trial, the judge was like, you guys, the jurors, go award an amount you guys think is appropriate, if any. And I thought $1 billion was appropriate. Because that's a civil case death penalty. I was the only one who thought that. I was the only one who actually was siding with Carla Brown. Everyone else was siding with Megabus. And we had to be unanimous. It was 7 of them. They all were siding with Megabus. And I was siding with Carla Brown. And we think we had to be unanimous. That was our assumption. And it looked bad because at the beginning of the trial, the jurors were talking about movies, about jury duty movies. And one came up was 12 Angry Men, which I didn't know about, and I was asking all these questions about it, which looks bad. What happens in the movie is one person disagrees with all the other jurors, and then he convinces all of them. And then when I was so then at the end of the trial, I was that one guy, and I think they were thinking, oh, we're just doing it to be like the movies. Anyways, it only took me 90 seconds to cave. I'm not gonna defeat 7 people. I also, I was actually been arrested myself before, so I'm not a goody two-shoe like you guys think. And I don't have to tell you this. It's not like it wasn't for a sex offense. They have to tell everyone, their neighbors. Which sucks for the neighbors, because they're just in their house, having a good day, and then the doorbell rings, and they're like, oh, I hope it's not Jehovah's Witnesses. And then they arrive at the door, and some guy's like, hey, I did some bad stuff, and I'm your neighbor now. Why do only sex offenders have to tell? What about murderers? They don't have, if they get out of jail, they don't have to tell anyone, which I find kind of crazy. Also, thieves and burglars, people who go into people's houses, they don't have to tell people. Hey, imagine they ring your doorbell and they're like, hey, I'm a burglar. Is that a PlayStation? I don't know. I wasn't arrested for that. I'm not a tough criminal either. I wasn't for murder or anything. I was arrested for trespassing, which is not a tough crime. It's actually considered one of the creepy crimes. Right, when you think of trespassing, you think of some guy who goes to a girl's place, unwanted, and she's like, hey, what are you doing? Get out of here, get out of here. And then the trespasser is in the corner no. That's what I think of trespassing, and I'm a trespasser. I was arrested for this archaic type of trespassing, though. Something that I feel like none of you guys would know what it is. Trespassing on a construction site. Did you guys know that was illegal? I'll take one yes. Any no's, though? No? No? All right, yeah, she did know. Okay, cool. I had no idea. I don't know if it's because I'm white and I'm like, I can't do anything wrong. Blah, 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 blah. I went to the roof of this building. It was an abandoned construction site. It was just floors. There was no walls at the time. All I did was I went to the roof of this building and I was stargazing and intermittently throwing the construction supplies off the roof. Which you don't want to attract attention to your crime, but I didn't know it was a crime. Even when the cops came, there was 4 cop cars that came to the base of this building. And I was like, oh, someone's getting in trouble. I'm gonna watch someone get arrested. I'm gonna watch someone get arrested. I was like pretty drunk at the time. I saw them hop the fence, and I was like, oh, awesome, someone in this building is getting arrested. Then they came up to the roof, and I was like, oh, I think it's me. Wasn't quite sure. They started arresting me, put me in handcuffs. I was like, I think it's me. I think it's me. And I was like, are you sure this is illegal? It is illegal. It's actually in Florida, which is where I got arrested. Trespassing on a construction site is actually a felony. How tough am I now? I don't know if you guys know what the crime is, the punishment for people who commit felonies in Florida. Excuse me, white people who commit felonies in Florida. First thing they do is they immediately drop into a misdemeanor. I think that was like a white discount or something. I'm not quite sure what that was. And then I had to do 6 months of probation, which means I couldn't be creepy for 6 months. For some of you guys, that might be easy, but for others, it was very difficult. And then what else? Oh, they made me pay a fine of $600 to a charity of their choice, which I found to be, not cool. The charity was to prevent black-on-black crime, which I think looks racist as a white guy donating to that. Because I'm like, you know what? You know what's wrong with black people? You know what black people's main problem is? Other black people. It was good. I got arrested when I was 22. It's good to get arrested young. It's better to get arrested before you start to lose your hair, because I have a mugshot now, and my hair looks so fucking good. My face is drunk and tired, and I'm wearing the prison clothes, but my hair is so good. It's perfect. Oh man, it's actually really good. I actually started using that picture, my mugshot, as my online dating profile picture. Right? Because girls love bad boys. My friends told me to stop doing that because it's bad. Have you guys ever done online dating? Yeah. Have you ever done it while balding? The most difficult way to do it. I'm like a front baller, which is the worst for pictures. I'm not a back baller. You guys know these sneaky motherfuckers? Do you know them? They show up to things. They're like, hey, look, I'm normal. A psych! Fucking bastards. You guys see that I was also a back baller? Don't call me that. I identify as a front baller. So. Yeah, I went on enough dates I realized I could tell how smart a girl was by the first thing she said when we met up in her life. Like the first impression, first minute I could tell. But the first thing she said when we met up was, Alex, did you have more hair in your profile picture? That's like a stupid girl. Like, obviously I clearly tricked you into this date. I'm balding and I want to fuck, okay? I was like, when people are like honest and upfront about it, like, you're right, it was an old picture. It was 16 in my profile picture, which I think reflects more poorly on them, right? I turned good girls bad, real bad, into pedophiles. And if I was on the jury, I would give them the death penalty, death penalty. All right. I actually met my wife during online dating. Our relationship was founded on a lie. And I spun. And I almost blew the relationship early on. We've been married for 2 years now, but early on, like in the first 8 months, it was Thanksgiving, and it was the first time I was meeting my bitch's family. I went to her house for Thanksgiving, and it was a bad house, guys. Have you guys ever tried to? I can't be the only one. Have you guys ever tried to go through someone else's medicine cabinet? And then you realize too late that you shouldn't have done it because it turns out not to be a medicine cabinet, but a mirror that you ripped off the bathroom wall. I was like, this is a really stubborn medicine cabinet. I had to explain to my future father-in-law, I was like, okay, I didn't just rip a mirror off the wall. I was trying to rummage through your medicine cabinet. The first second when I saw all that drywall, I was like, oh my god, these people are addicted to drywall. We're married now 2 years, and it's pretty good, and we're going on a road trip. Which I guess is not, we're going like a year-long road trip, which is not relevant to anything in this story or to you guys. I'm not going to fill you in on any more of that. Just letting you know if you're coming to look for me in what's it called. Okay. I think that went pretty well, right? Or if you guys want to, thank you so much. All right, that's all my time. Thank you so much.
Alex Barbag, everyone.